This question states the following. Find the polynomial function with leading coefficient 2 that has degree 3 and zeros 2, 5 halves, and 13 halves. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write the zeros as factors. So the factors are x minus 2, x minus 5 halves, and x minus 13 halves. Now, if I wish, I could multiply these factors out and get my polynomial function. However, to make this a little bit easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the last two factors here and get rid of the fractions. So my factors now become x minus 2. To get rid of this fraction here, I'm going to multiply every term by 2, so I get 2x minus 5. And the same thing with this one, multiply everything by 2, I get 2x minus 13. So to verify that these are the factors here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I can take one of these factors here, 2x minus 5 for example, and I could set it equal to 0, and I could solve for x by adding 5 and dividing by 2, and my 0 is 5 halves. So that proves that 2x minus 5 is really a factor. So in order to solve this problem, the first thing I need to do is I need to multiply these first two factors out. So I'm going to take and multiply x minus 2 times 2x minus 5. To do this, I'm going to FOIL. And if you remember, FOIL is just a way for you to remember how to multiply a binomial times a binomial. So my first term, FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, last. My first term is going to be x times 2x. My outside term is going to be x times negative 5. My inside term is going to be negative 2 times 2x. And my last term is going to be negative 2 times negative 5. So multiplying these, I end up with x times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. Negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. And negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. Combining like terms, I end up with 2x squared minus 9x plus 10. Okay, the next step is to take my trinomial 2x squared minus 9x plus 10 times my last factor, which is 2x minus 13. In order to do this, I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to first take the 2x here times everything in this first parenthesis. So I'm going to take 2x times 2x squared. I'm going to take 2x times negative 9x. And I'm going to take 2x times 10. Next, I'm going to take negative 13 times everything. So I'm going to take negative 13 times 2x squared. I'm going to take negative 13 times negative 9x. And I'm going to take negative 13 times 10. So multiplying all this stuff out gives me 2x times 2x squared is 4x to the third. 2x times negative 9x is negative 18x squared. 2x times 10 is 20x. Negative 13 times 2x squared is negative 26x squared. Negative 13 times negative 9x is positive 117x. And negative 13 times 10 is negative 130. Finally, I need to combine like terms. So I'm going to combine my like terms. I have 4x to the third. And then I have negative 18x squared and negative 26x squared. So I end up with negative 44x squared. My x's, I have 20x and I have a positive 117x. And so I'm going to add those two together and I'm going to get plus 137x. And then finally I bring down the negative 130. Now if you remember, the problem stated that they wanted you to find a polynomial function that had a leading coefficient of 2. And right now my polynomial function has a leading coefficient of 4. So in order to get this to be a 2, what I need to do is I need to divide every term here by 2. So I'm going to divide this by 2, every term by 2. So my final polynomial function is 2x cubed minus 22x squared plus, I'm just going to leave this as 137 halves x minus 65.